Hello and welcome into Everything Else here on KC Sports Network. I'm Joshua Brisco, and people have been asking, what are you going to do? You've not been nearly busy enough, people, including my wife, have said. And now we have an answer for you right here, live from the Majestic today. More on them in just a little bit, but you're here for it. Maybe you're listening after the fact. Maybe you're watching live on the KCSN YouTube channel. If so, I'm going to be able to see your comments even as I am surrounded by bottles and bottles and bottles here at the Majestic. I'm very excited about a number of things today. I'm excited to start something new that I'm very, very excited about. I'm very, very excited to be joined shortly by the one and only Tucker D. Franklin. And the D stands for definitely going to be a major part of this entire podcast experience. I'm excited to be doing another thing live with you here on KCSN. I'm excited for everything else. That's why the show is the name of the show. As people have asked throughout the last, about 6 months or a year and a half, you can look at my various different things I've done, and obviously have continued Only Weird Games throughout all of that. The absolute beast that will never die. Huzzah. I did have somebody, BJ Kitsel's here also, and BJ, you're not going to be like, I'm not going to directly talk to you most of the show, but I am now going to alert you that when I tweeted out the teaser for a big announcement coming soon, I did have someone ask, does this mean Only Weird Games is over? And I just got to say, I've never seen anyone tease a divorce, not on purpose, at least. So no, nothing is changing with Only Weird Games. Actually, there is one other thing changing on KCSN, because Tucker will have this exact time slot, noon to 1, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and everything else with yours truly. We're going to be here at noon every Monday and Friday right here on the KCSN YouTube channel. I thought a lot about what I wanted this thing to be. It is, again, how I came to the name of it all, as silly as it is. I couldn't start a new show and have a name that was easy to understand the first time you heard it. I just am simply not built like that. But the idea for a long time was, well, I'm talking Chiefs and, with Seth and Nate and across the way. And I've been thinking about this show since long before any of the Chiefs Radio Network stuff came around. And I know, well, I always want to talk about Chiefs stuff, because I've talked about every angle of sports nationally and obviously everything in the local area for a long time off and on. I've enjoyed all of those things, but my favorite thing to talk about is, believe it or not, actually the Kansas City Chiefs. But the thing I've missed talking about is everything else. It was sort of the most fun times of the old radio shows. You get to 9 p.m. on a Wednesday and it's time to talk about Game of Thrones. It was an important part of my favorite type of long form yapping here, in doing it in hour-long chunks twice a week. I think we're going to hit a ton of the good stuff. And my hope, generally speaking, we'll see if we pass this test today. My hope is that we will spend exactly as much time talking about Chiefs stuff, serious stuff, sports stuff. I hope we'll spend exactly as much time as we should when those days come around. Today, we're going to talk about the interior defensive line quite a bit. The NFL season is here. We are in day 1 of week 1. We're going to talk a ton of Chiefs things today. I'm going to make this true right now. The player we're going to discuss the most in the first episode of this show, and the first athlete name spoken in this iteration of Everything Else with Joshua Brisco, is Mike Pennel. Congratulations. If you had that on your bingo card, go ahead and check that off. First player named in the new era of the new show is, in fact, Cincinnati Bengals defensive tackle Mike Pennel, as the words turn to ash out of my mouth. We'll talk about the things that are happening and the Chiefy things for as long as we should. My hope is that, of course, there will be days where it's a slow news week. Maybe it's a bye week. Maybe it's after kind of a snoozer game, or before, maybe before the bye. In those instances, if the only thing we have to talk about is reacting to a reaction on some sports debate TV show that I don't really think any of us need to care about, we're just not going to spend time on that. My hope here is that this show will be selective about how we use our time and our energy engaging with sports things. And then when the sports things have run their course for that day, then we'll have time for everything else. Let's go ahead. Actually, before I do, a quick couple of thank yous off the top, because I think that set the stage. A huge thank you to the Majestic. We are here in the Pendergast Club upstairs in the Majestic. If you're not familiar, it's amazing. We're showing off a bunch of it now. You'll get to see a little more later. I'm going to tell you how you can see more and get more information about the Majestic here in just a second. It is inside the historic Fitzpatrick Saloon building. It's packed with more than 100 years of Kansas City history. And I'm going to quote the Majestic's website directly here so I get my terms correct, and you'll understand why in a second. Over the decades, it has been a saloon, speakeasy, gambling den, and house of ill repute. It has hosted jazz legends, political bosses, and gangsters. And I will tell you, it feels like it. This place is unbelievable. They've got live jazz 7 nights of the week, and the incredible Pendergast Cigar Lounge Tuesday through Saturday. And they have one of the largest spirit selections in the city, including, what's this? Is this some Ben Holiday bottled in bond? This is some, wow, what an incredible selection at this incredible place. That's on the bar if you're listening to the audio after the fact. You can book them on opentable.com and or check them out on their website, majestickc.com. That's majestickc.com. This place is incredibly cool. And if you, like me, have somehow been in Kansas City for a very long time and hadn't been in this building, now is your time. And I say, go ahead and say that KCSN sent you. I think if you say, hi, I'm here, everything else sent me, I think everyone's going to be confused for a while. We'll work that out eventually. We'll get you know what you can have? You walk in and you say, Josh Brisco sent me. They're going to give you a free matchbook. I hope they're free. I've taken a couple already. They're in a little bowl by the door. I didn't ask. BJ, should I have that? Don't worry about it. Also, a huge thank you to my dear friend Darren Breeden, who did all the music. The intro music and the countdown clock music is all by my dear friend Darren. Thank you, Darren. We've got Tucker on a soundboard now. If you're just listening or if you're wondering what the setup is here, and this is the first distraction. Tucker, go ahead and bring us to the first graphic that says we didn't have a graphic for this today because this was not in the rundown. I really like the handheld mic at a distance, standing up, kind of roaming around vibe. Like, I feel like I'm ready to do some crowd work, which I think is why I've gone to BJ. Tucker's over there. Renee's back behind Tucker. I don't know what Renee's doing, but I do feel like I'd like to. Sir, in the blue shirt, what do you do for a living? Podcasting. You make money from that? I said, sorry, sir. I said for a living. I think this is the way to go. I think this is good stuff. Thank you, Tucker. All right, fine. Let's talk about the defensive tackle situation. It's weird. It got weirder this morning. We talked about it on Only Weird Games. I just use the word weird a lot anyway. This is not a brand crossover. Nate or Seth are not going to pop up from behind the bar. The Chiefs defensive tackle rotation on the active roster right now is Chris Jones, good, Jerry Tillery, Elmore Norman Lott, Derek Nottie, you and me. We're the 6. It's crazy. I'm surprised they kept 6, including 2 of us. It's just those 4. The practice squad we've talked about a little bit. I'll tell you who the guys are that I think are kind of interesting. But what the Chiefs have done at defensive tackle within this last week or so is just truly strange. And you would be right to say, Josh, are we talking about the veteran rotational run-stuffing defensive tackle spot as the biggest takeaway from the Chiefs' 53-man roster? Yes, we are. I'll tell you at the top, it's better to be talking about that than it is to be talking about your quarterback battle or wide receiver 3 or any of the other left tackle 1, perhaps. This isn't the end of the world, but I'm old enough to remember the last couple of years when Mike Pennell has been an important part of the Chiefs defense, and he's rightfully gotten some credit for helping them bow up against the run as a, rotational, older run stuffing piece. I am not beyond imagination that Mike Pennell might not be great at football in his age 34 season. I'm willing to hear that argument. But the way that the Chiefs got to where they are right now is just kind of baffling, or at least very, very curious. And this is the type of thing that I genuinely enjoy talking about and getting into the weeds of. So again, this is, in some ways, this will be a variety show. In other ways, this show is going to be about the intricacies of NFL roster building. I know there are like 5 of you who are happy with that, and hopefully you'll tell 5 friends apiece. This is not a pyramid scheme. So Mike Pennell's 34 years old. Last year, just do some quick math, Mike Pennell was 33 years old and still pretty old for a defensive tackle. Derek Nottie now back after a late round pick swap. He's 29, and now Mike Pennell is a 34-year-old Bengal. Last year's snap count percentages at the defensive tackle position in the regular season, this is including week 18, so there's a little bit of noise, but this is the defensive regular season snap count percentages at that defensive tackle position last year for the Chiefs. Chris Jones, 71%, Tershawn Wharton, 61%, Mike Pennell, 30%, Derek Nottie, 20%, but 47 of Nottie's 221 snaps came in week 18. Pennell played 23 that week, so we also got a little bit out there just for bookkeeping fairness. And Marlon Tuipulotu played on Christmas Day and in week 18 and never before that. If you don't care that the Chiefs moved future late draft picks around for Derek Nottie, I get it. But this same offseason, Derek Nottie signed a 1-year, $1.4 million deal with about $420,000 guaranteed with the Jets. And the Chiefs signed Mike Pennell to a 1-year, $1.4 million deal with about $400,000 guaranteed. They signed the same contracts. This offseason, the Chiefs decided we are going to roll with Mike Pennell in this role for another season, and we're going to let Derek Nottie walk. I'm totally okay, or I guess I was okay, with the Chiefs admitting that they underinvested in defensive tackle in the depth, in the run-stuffing depth this offseason by bringing Nottie back. Nobody really stepped up to win a role. I do have some thoughts about what they may have assumed was going to happen in that spot. It happens. But if you bring back Nottie and have Pennell, you've got a couple of veteran guys who you're clearly not in love with, but can be the beef and the backups there that you need them to be. But now they've just chosen to, like, air quotes here, upgrade Nottie over Pennell in the exact same rotation that they had entering this season. They didn't actually improve the depth. The depth is identical, except for now they have a player who they liked less last season, who played less last season, and who they didn't bring back earlier this offseason, going with Nottie over Pennell. The result may work out fine, and I like Derek Nottie, which is kind of funny because I think I like him more than the Chiefs do, or at least more than they did 6 months ago. But if you really just investigate the process at hand, maybe they're convinced that Jerry Tillery is going to play 60% of the snaps and just be Tershawn Wharton. And that would be great if he is, but Tershawn Wharton just left and got a big money deal because what he did last year was actually impressive, was actually helpful to the football team. Jerry Tillery is here on kind of a reclamation, career rejuvenation attempt. So expecting those guys to be the same player is silly. The market doesn't expect them to be the same player. The Chiefs don't expect them to be the same player. Maybe the idea was that Tillery and Omar Norman-Lott can combine for 90% of the snaps like Wharton and Pennell did last year. But if your plan is for Omar Norman-Lott, who did not play a lot of snaps in college, who appears to be putting on weight and has been battling an ankle injury since early on in training camp, if your bet is that he's going to be Mike Pennell, you probably should have drafted somebody who's shaped more like Mike Pennell. So it's all just a little strange to me. I think this guy has his own podcast or whatever, but I'm going to do Matty Lane's talking for him here because I really liked what he tweeted out this morning. You can hear him on Kent Swanson's show. Weird. That's what it says on his bio. Matty Lane from the lab on KCSN tweeted, "It doesn't even matter if he was cooked or not. Him being your only real nose tackle option on the roster until mid-August was nuts. Trading for a player you already decided wasn't as good is nuts. Then to not even use a rotation like the last 2 seasons? It's nuts. I get it. It just doesn't quite add up. There is not a Derek Nottie to last year's Derek Nottie on the roster. Derek Nottie was the Mike Pennell of last year. Do you see what I'm saying? Last year was Pennell and Nottie solving this problem and solving it with a B- perhaps. This year it's just Derek Nottie, and now Mike Pennell's a member of the Bengals. Maybe the Chiefs thought they were going to be able to get Pennell back. I don't know. Shortly after he was cut, he was posting on his Instagram story the clip of the Joker from The Dark Knight in front of the big pile of money. And he says, "It's not about the money. It's about sending a message. Everything burns." And so that's encouraging. That's what you like to, that's definitely good to see. Good Joker impression. I was thinking I might actually do more Joker impressions the rest of the way. Tucker, the only issue so far. Thank you. Oh, stop it. Oh, stop that. Thank you. I can't see the comments over here yet on the monitor. If I can see those, just throughout the show, just go ahead and submit things you want me to say as the Joker, and we'll see how it goes. Welcome to a new book. Frank Clark's coming back. It's from Adam Sheehan. Thank you, Adam. That's fine. Just throw those up as we go, Tucker. If you see something that you want me to say as the Joker, you have that now for the rest of the show. Fantastic. Good impression. Thank you. Oh, that wasn't for me. That just said a good impression. Oh, okay. That makes sense. All right. I'll admit this now. So I think we're off topic again. Somebody not too long ago, I think it was Pablo Torre Finds Out. He did a whole thing about athletes who really love Heath Ledger's Joker. And there's just like this whole kind of there's some psychological thing going on there. George Kittle's got like the Joker tattoo on his forearm. I haven't, I'm admitting now, I haven't actually listened to the entire episode of that Pablo podcast, but I saw that and I was like, man, that's a good point. Like a lot of athletes are really into the Joker. And on some level, like an incredible villain, an incredible performance in that movie by Heath Ledger. But I don't think he's a role model, ideally, right? Like I think there should be a little bit of a separation between character who I love and respect. No, love is a big word. Character who's complex and fascinating and really, really, really well performed at a formative time. I say all of this to admit that I have several times dressed up as the Joker. I had a Halloween costume from Mike Denny, excuse me. Somebody always picks the Chargers. Thank you, Mike. So I did, around that time, I did have a couple of Joker Halloween costumes. I'm not going to say that I did like extensive vocal training to nail the impression, but I definitely had done that before. And so what we've now figured out is that my impression catalog is Heath Ledger's Joker and Bill Clinton. And that's not a joke. It's just kind of everything. It's like 2 degrees from Matthew McConaughey, but it's those are all kind of the same bucket. So I can do a little bit of twang or the Joker. Was that Joker X Nixon? Great question from Brian. I am not a crook. It's a great prompt, Brian. All right. I'm not going to do impressions for the next 10 minutes. Those are my thoughts on where I'm annoyed about the Chiefs defensive tackle thing. It's probably going to be fine. But Mike Pennell now, a big shout out to Nick from the Majestic who said this earlier. I told him I was going to steal this line. Mike Pennell, in a full circle moment. You either die a hero, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And now Mike Pennell has become a villain, and he is the second best defender on the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll take our first timeout when I come back. Tucker's going to join me at the bar.
Shop Chiefs tickets and more with no fees. Plus, save big with code KCSN at ticketsforless.com, the official ticket provider of KC Sports Network.
What's up, guys? I'm BJ Kissel, founder and CEO of KC Sports Network, and I'm here to talk to Kansas City businesses. If you rely on technology, you need an IT support team that's not just another vendor, but a true IT partner. That's why I want to introduce you to my friend and neighbor, KJ Miller. He is a VCIO at ThrottleNet, the Midwest's highest rated and most reviewed IT support company. They've been in business for more than 25 years, helping companies stay secure, productive, and ahead of the curve. They aren't just IT support, but they provide data security, IT strategy, and cloud software services. They do it all, and their reviews show they do it better than anyone else. So if you want to hear about how ThrottleNet can help your local business, join the conversation with myself, KJ Miller from ThrottleNet, and our resident genius from KC Sports Network when it comes to IT, at least as he's affectionately known by us, Mr. Craig Stout. Click the link in the description to hear how ThrottleNet can help you.
Look at that. Look who joined me at the bar. That's Tucker D. Franklin. The
What's
D stands
up?
for darn thirsty. What can I get you, Tucker? That's not a sponsor. Don't.
No, that's
I
not
say,
a sponsor.
hide your
So
non-sponsor.
I hid that.
There we go. Good.
I want all of this. And
Yeah.
you guys know this if you guys are watching on KC Sports Network, which you are, because this is how you watch this show.
Yeah,
I always keep the bottle on my desk.
this is true.
It's my emergency bottle. Which one is it? I think it's our KCSN
Good.
Select is what it is.
Well, That's truly
I've got
special.
this one on deck.
I think I've got a couple of these at home right
Fun
now.
fact about me.
Tell me a fun fact about you, Tucker.
Wait, hang on.
Hey, everybody, this is Tucker D. Franklin
I gotta
from KC Sports Network.
change the lower third.
Oh, yeah, we didn't make a graphic for this.
Yeah, we didn't make a graphic for this.
I'm really glad that we got this graphic in time for the first show.
We already used that one, and oops, we got distracted again. We've already used
Fantastic.
both
I
of
didn't
them,
even
so-
see the distraction one. Was that the
Heath Ledger.
Joker impressions?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that
was-
makes a lot of
yeah,
sense. Yeah.
Phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was I saying?
Your holiday bottle at home.
Yes. Oh, I've got a number 1 first sealed edition signed
dang.
by Kyle.
Wow.
I've not opened it. The very first batch of bottles that they bottled at Holiday Distillery, Kyle signed it for me. I've kept it. I can't bring myself to drink it.
No, I don't. Part of the appeal, I think, of having one that is it's like a one of one that way.
Yeah.
It's just that you
Oh,
can
yeah.
always say this is the first one. This is the first pour off the top.
Kyle is a master distiller. I should clarify. Not just some dude named Kyle off
Well,
the street signed.
Kyle Holiday is his last name.
Right, I think so.
I had another question for you that was. I was going to say, you know what I was going to say, Tucker. I was enjoying one of KCSN's finest podcasts. I would say one spot above wherever you'd put the lab is certainly where I would put that football show with Tucker D. Franklin and Matt Verderam.
That's about right. Yeah.
You guys did an excellent little chat about the defensive tackle position. I was very happy with where both of you landed because you added 2 more reasonable, level-headed people to the chorus of analysis. Going, what happened here? What is going on? I know you are passionate about things like run stuffing defensive linemen.
Oh yeah.
And I just don't like the strategy that no, Derek Nottie and Omar Norman Lott are going to be enough here.
It's just, I think the frustration is the process, right? And
Yes.
and that's where a lot of the frustration comes from me is the obscure process. And it's easy to forget about this, but Matt and I were not huge on like drafting a left tackle.
Yeah, sure.
And we just because the process to us, other than like Josh Simmons, a future Hall of Famer that we all know is already fitted for his gold jacket.
Yes.
We were wrong. And like 100%, we were wrong on that. Hand up, that's on us. Like we fully admitted.
You didn't think Josh Simmons was going to be there at 32.
100%. And we said if he was healthy enough, he wouldn't be there at 32.
Right.
That was our whole thought process there. People like to remind us that all the time. So I appreciate everyone for keeping us honest on that.
Matt picked the Bills. I mean,
Pick the Bills.
not
Can't draft Joe Burrow.
I thought for sure Kent also drafted Joe Burrow in the league. I'm in with him later. We'll talk about fantasy football
yeah.
later.
Sorry.
No, it's good. I'm glad you mentioned this. We need
Wow.
people need to know. I think no, go ahead. No,
Well,
people need to know that Kent has to root for Joe Burrow this year for the sake of his fantasy team. I think that's awesome. As KCSN's perhaps most strident, me personally, as perhaps KCSN's most strident Joe Burrow believer, not even believer, just I wouldn't even say I'm a supporter. I stand up for Joe Burrow in the face of hatred like Kent Swanson's.
For sure. And look, I think that they
mostly
are
fashion based.
They are right. They are a bit overzealous, might be the word in their Joe Burrow hate. I think that Joe Burrow is unfairly criticized by them. But look, I get it. You got to be on there. Seamus, also a phenomenal comment from him. Tucker took burden over Simmons. Look, that's a sword I'll fall on. I'll fall on that sword 9 times out of 9.
I love 9 times out of 9. 9 times out of 9 was so good it stopped my sentence in its tracks.
Well,
I've never heard anyone say 9 times out of 9 before. I don't think.
Right, I just decided to pull that one out.
No, that's good stuff.
That was my slider.
That was a good one. You get to keep talking. I don't get the ball back yet. I've staggered so bad.
So anyway, what I was saying about the process, going back to processes.
Yeah.
That's why Verder and I weren't like necessarily gung ho on drafting a left tackle because like you signed a left tackle the second free agency started.
Right.
So like the process there is not necessarily the best. It changes a little bit. The math changes a little bit, when you draft the best left tackle ever to suit up, according to everybody ever.
Correct.
So, I mean, look, that equation changes a little bit. Unfortunately for the Chiefs, they didn't sign the best defensive tackle to ever play defensive tackle.
They did. Yeah,
I guess
I'm saying they have Chris Jones still around.
Right.
I'm not putting that crown on Omar though. Yes.
Right. Omar.
You keep talking. I'm gonna wipe my nose.
Yeah, wipe your nose.
I'm getting too excited, dude.
Yeah, sorry. We're all riled up here on everything else. But again, it's a process that is not necessarily favorable because it's like, why? Anytime you have to say like why, like I guess I understand Brett Veach's comments of like, hey, we want to get younger, but like it's not like he got the fountain of youth in Derek Nottie. That's the thing too. And also, they played Mike Pennell more last year.
Yes!
They played him more.
Last year! And then they kept Mike Pennell this offseason on an identical contract.
They could have signed Derek Nottie.
Yes, for the almost beat for beat what they signed Mike Pennell for.
I'm getting way too more upset about this.
That's okay. That's what this is for. This isn't the chill, relax. Oh, we need to flip our directions on our cameras also. Can you change who's on which? I keep looking at you over here and I realize I'm looking off. There we go.
That's better.
I'm obviously I'm with you because it's still the thing that I'm like mildly heated about. Can I roll this into another Chiefy roster thing? A couple Chiefy roster things I think are interesting. This is something I'm not actually losing sleep over. Okay, I do not need any more Clyde Edwards-Helaire related beef following me to any new platforms. Clyde seems like a wonderful guy. I think it's totally fine that he's back on the practice squad. I think it's weird that he and Carson Steele are both on the practice squad. Mm-hmm. You only have a finite number of practice squad spots. They kept 4 running backs, including Elijah Mitchell, who seemed like he was the guy kind of on the bubble. And I'm fine with that. Maybe that just means that they believe that Elijah Mitchell has a little bit of juice left, that his explosion is still on the table. That's fine. I figured when the trade rumors were happening, I thought, well, maybe that's just a case of Elijah Mitchell not having any of that burst back. They were hoping he'd have back post-injury. I hope he has that burst. I hope that would be great. But if you're in a place where you have Isaiah Pacheco, who is probably NFL average explosive, right? Yeah. He was faster out of college than he gets credit for now, but I think that's fair to not think of him as a speedster. Yeah. Violent runner, but not all burst, but fine. I'm cool with Isaiah Pacheco being a team's starting running back. Right. I'm just not going to put you in the top 10 as a unit. You have Kareem Hunt, who has good vision, good balance, kind of plodding at this point. Yeah. The feet don't move as quick as they used to. You have Brashard Smith, who is pure explosion, converted wide receiver, pure speed. You just want to see his game catch up to him. Backfield weapon. I'm happy he's on the roster. I'm happy they drafted him. I like him a lot. Yeah. And Elijah Mitchell, who right now we just don't know. We don't know if he's going to be more. I think Jerick McKinnon is out of the picture, but we don't know if he's going to be more Samaje Perine or LaMichael Perine, actually. Right. We don't know which of those gears he's going to fall into. So what I would say is, hey, have 2 backs on your practice squad. Carson Steele is a fullback who can do some special teams things. I could see Carson Steele getting some game day elevations, maybe even getting game day elevations to make Elijah Mitchell a healthy scratch at some point. For sure. Because you need the bodies who can do the things on special teams. Totally makes sense that Carson Steele's back on this team. In a vacuum, you could say, well, Clyde Edwards-Helaire knows the offense, even though they fully let him go last season when they ended up actually needing more running backs than they have or need now. But Clyde has no unrealized ceiling. I would argue that Kareem Hunt and probably Elijah Mitchell have hit their ceilings. Yeah. Still useful players, but have hit their ceilings. And I don't think Carson Steele has a significantly higher ceiling in terms of what he can do. Isaiah Pacheco, maybe not. Mm-hmm. Brashard Smith has a bunch of ceiling. What's the likelihood of him hitting those? That's welcome to NFL analysis, baby. We never know until it happens. But if you were going to give me the option to have 2 backs on the practice squad, I would say give me either the fullback special teamer who can do it all, or the veteran running back who's returning to your offense, and then give the other spot to a young, underutilized, underrealized, undersized running back who might have some potential to bring a new speed to your offense, a new gear to your offense. If it's not now, this time next year. And so I think it's interesting that the Chiefs decided to go Steele and Clyde in both of those spots.
I think the most interesting part is Clyde's wearing 40, and I think that's an affront to all running backs ever.
I'd say he looks like a fullback, but he is not the size you want a fullback to be.
It's like Carson Steele's 42.
42, right? I believe.
That's a fullback number.
It's what I wore playing fullback in high school. And if you'd like any tips, you guys just let me know. I'll give you fullback tips in a Joker voice later in the show. That's not a big deal. Pure fullback for Carson Steele. You're so right about this. Yes. 40.
But 40 for Clyde is
that's Mike Allstott, man.
Yeah. Clyde's not Mike Allstott.
Clyde's like 5'8". He's not 5'5". That was not fair. He's not. It's not.
Well,
You're not wearing anything. Is that a rounding up, you think, on old Clyde?
Well, I don't know. Tara took that picture with him at the 15 of the Homies Foundation. They're about the same height.
What
Tara's
are
shorter than I am.
What are Tara's measurables?
Great point. I probably shouldn't talk about on a podcast.
I got Renee to laugh. That's something. What? Tara's not a terribly tall person.
No, I mean she's like about my height. We're about the same height. And like if anyone has ever
Why
seen
won't
me,
you just say a number? I don't know your
I don't know,
height. I don't
5'7".
know Tara's height.
We'll call 5'7".
Great. So Clyde, we're saying, and maybe Tara got some
I
heels.
think she was
there,
in heels that
but
day too, but she was definitely taller than Clyde in that picture. You saw the picture.
I sure did. I texted her for some. People can dig if they want. I learned 2 things about practice squad running backs. The Chiefs practice squad running backs from Tara. I'll say this.
Maybe she's the insider we need.
She really might be. I will say just to be. The only thing I really learned about Clyde was that he's a little bit shorter than I thought, and Tara said he was very nice. I think that
he's an incredibly kind guy.
He seems like a very nice guy.
Jackie said 5'7" wink. Okay.
I
That's
did
very nice.
I did just Google CEH height, and I found.
What do they have him listed at?
Well, I didn't get his on the Google AI overview. I did get Christian Ke, a discus thrower. He's 2.06 meters tall, which makes him 6'9".
And they think AI is going to take our job.
He holds the Slovenian discus record and has a world lead in the discus throw. Other possible meanings for CEH: compact equivalent height. Aiden Ke, a basketball player. Peyton Ke, a volleyball player. Blaza Ke, a Slovenian basketball player. They're all taller than Clyde except for the volleyball player who's 5'3". I need both hands to type Clyde Edwards-Helaire height into Google.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Look, looking at the comment section right now, a lot of people bring up like insurance policy. Yeah, look,
Right, he is listed at 5'7".
Your insurance, well, thank you. Yeah, thank you, David. Don't hate on us 5'7" kings. That's right, we're kings. 5'7" short king. I have never claimed to be a tall man.
No.
I've never actually. I'm quite the opposite.
I think it's better to embrace the under. They say life's too short to bet the under. Not when you're under 6 foot tall.
My goodness, Mike Denny said per Tucker's huddle, he's 5'6". Why did you find my huddle?
Mike, we're
Watch
gonna
that
need
tape,
you.
by the way. Watch that tape. Good down blocks.
Let's start getting some of those. Start getting some of those huddle clips out on socials as soon as possible, please. Tucker did some amazing.
Graceland University loved it. By the way,
who did?
Graceland University.
Oh yeah, they come calling.
No, they did.
What happened?
Lindenwood, Graceland.
You decided it's time to move on to Happy Gilmore 2 was on the horizon.
I wanted to go to Northwest, and Northwest said thank you, but no thank you. I said that's all right. I'm going to come to school there anyway. And I work for the athletic department. So kind of what happened.
That makes. And I tell you what, look at you now. If you didn't see it, if you either joined in progress on the video side or if you're listening to the audio later on, I'm really tickled with a bunch of our visual stuff for this show. Tucker has made some incredible things. Our show countdown also featuring music from Darren and a drawing from Renee, and then production made by Tucker. This whole thing has come together beautifully and better than the Chiefs defensive tackle room.
Oh, we're going back.
No, we're not.
Okay.
No, that's okay. I just got distracted.
Oh, wait, we were talking about running back.
I was going to let him go unless you had it.
I do have
the insurance policy thing.
Yeah. So in terms of the running backs, it is interesting that they did sign 2 with already 4 on the roster. Like, that's a lot of running backs.
6 backs.
That means they're anticipating somebody to get hurt, and
which is fair at the position.
100%. And that's a stat that I think I've hammered ever since I joined KCSN about like starting running backs miss an average of like 3 games a season. So, like Isaiah Pacheco has never played a full season.
Right.
And that's not his indictment. That's a running backs all across the league don't play a full season.
Yes.
So like that's not a major thing. Like
the guys who don't miss significant time are the outliers.
Correct. And I think that that's a big thing to keep in consideration when they're keeping 4 running backs. They got a guy coming off a broken leg. He broke his leg last year. And like
RB1.
Arby's.
Hey, not a sponsor yet.
Not yet. But I think that's kind of the thing is the Elijah Mitchell one is kind of weird to me because like I could not, and we've talked about this before, I could not pinpoint one play he made in the preseason.
Yeah.
And which I guess is a good thing, but also a bad thing.
Didn't hear much out of camp either about like, oh, Elijah Mitchell
looks really good.
Look, yeah.
I mean, he missed a whole year for a hamstring injury. That's a soft tissue injury he's missing a whole year for. That's a little bit concerning. Jackie Moon says, wow, gatekeeping Tucker's high school position. How will I ever live? I think I've been pretty open about what position I played in high school. I was a center. So there you go, Jackie.
Let's start scouting. Low man wins. I'm ready for.
He will respond.
I'm ready for those clips to hit the internet.
This is a Mike Denny guess. Okay, sorry, Jackie. Sorry. I appreciate the hand up, fellas. That one's on me. I'll take that one.
You know what I won't take?
What's up?
Issa Pole is dead. That's not true. He's
Is that
fine.
How, is that how we're playing?
He's a New York Jet. He's a New York Jet, and I'm happy for him, and I'm glad he's on an NFL roster. And people were very upset about this. I understand being upset about this. The roster maneuvering of it all was not the chillest. We had the Sam McDowell Kansas City Star tweet that he was back, and then that Pole had been informed after that deadline that he had been claimed. And I mentioned that because McDowell said that Pole was surprised by that, as everyone.
He was in the building, right? Reportedly, yeah.
I believe I've got that right.
Yeah.
If not, you can check out McDowell's tweets on Twitter, or you can text him for clarification at his personal cell phone number, which is 913. I'm no Seth Geiser.
Yeah, it's true.
So I understand, obviously, why he was a prospect to be enamored by. I also just remembered, I've forgotten to tease this entire show, that a surprise that is going to blow some people's socks clean off their bare feet is going to be the final segment of this show today.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't teased it once.
We'll see.
Hand up. That's on me.
We're big accountability podcast.
Welcome to the Everything Else Accountability Podcast. We're your accountability partners, Joshua Brisco and Tucker D. Frank.
Massive accountability podcast here.
I have 47 straight jokes I would love to fire off right now. We're kind of your net nanny, if you think about it. Me and Tucker. We're your net nannies, Josh and Tucker.
Paul says, I just logged on and immediately became drunk. Thanks, guys. You're welcome.
Thanks, Paul. Is that Jimmy Neutron?
Well, the production company.
Right, yeah, the Jimmy Neutron in credit sequence. I was there, man. I heard it. I heard that just barely squeak through the microphone.
Great call.
The Chiefs still have Ethan Driscoll, and they still have Drew Godric. Godric is the 17th player because he's the international player, so he's 17th on the practice squad, free roster spot, and Driscoll's appendix blew up.
That's crazy.
And so he's on the NFI list, and then I'm guessing it'll be pretty easy to sneak him to the practice squad after that's all settled. I don't believe he has had that. I think he is still on the list right now, unless I've totally missed an update there. Pole was really fun. I totally get it. I spent so long talking about defensive tackle like 3, 4, 5, 6 that I would feel a little bit foolish to also be that amped for offensive tackle 7, 8, 9. Like I have to let some, we're already talking about the practice squad. I have to let some battles go. I think I'm letting that battle go. And I will say that this is not an exaggeration or an indictment of anybody. If Issa Pole becomes Wanye Morris at the NFL level, it will be a tremendous success for Issa Pole.
Absolutely.
And I know the last thing we see is always the thing that's the easiest to remember. Wanye Morris has significant actual NFL value. I think Seth said this on Weird Games. I hate giving him credit for things. Hopefully Nate said it instead. But if you get 1 or 2 games of Wanye Morris, he can look replacement level in that spot. Yeah. When you need 3 to 17 games from Wanye Morris, other teams start being able to pick on him a little bit and to key in on some of his tendencies. And then you realize, okay, well, he's not even an NFL player. No, he was for 3 games until he got the starter treatment. And then eventually that wall starts to crumble a little bit. And he was injured, dealing with something throughout last year. I think knee from training camp, right?
It is knee.
So I'm not terribly, terribly bent up about that, although I understand why some people would be.
Fair. The development part is what people like about him, and he is, no joke, a massive human being.
Yeah.
Like I went out to training camp the first day that pads went on, and you saw him, and you're like, oh, this dude is just like a mountain of clay, basically. Like you could just shape him in whatever direction that you want him to be, and he was great. I do totally get your sentiment too, as just like hard to be too worked up about that, considering the depth of their offensive line so much better than what it was a year ago.
Yes,
and that's the thing. Like we're getting upset about. Again, I think the Pole.
His Pro Football Reference page said Issa Pole, and so I've been going with that because there wasn't ever a phonetic on the Chiefs website.
True,
that's where I've been going.
Probably should have been the writing on the wall at that point if there was ever a phonetic there. But the only I've got to try to break the habit because the whole draft process I was calling him Issa Pole.
That's fine. He's a Jet now.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of, there's a really good comment here from Brett. He said, "If you covet Issa Pole while he's a member of the Jets, you've committed tampering in your heart." Here's a good spin zone.
It's really good.
The Jets are just going to trade him to the Chiefs for a 6th. So he's going to be a Chief. We know he's going to be a Chief.
Are you stunned beyond words that McCole Hardman isn't on this roster somewhere?
I thought for sure he was going on the practice squad.
Seemed so likely.
I mean,
right?
that seemed like it was a layup. He's also wearing number 6 as a wide receiver, which also Sky Moore is wearing number 6 with the San Francisco 49ers.
He got a receiver number in San Francisco?
Yeah, the
for
Niners, this is going to turn into that football show here in a second.
That's
but
okay.
the-
I like that show. I'm not Matt Verder, but I like that show.
The Niners have Sky Moore and MVS on their active roster currently right now. They saw the Chiefs won a Super Bowl and said, we can do that.
Hey, Brock Purdy, you ready? You ready? You want all that money? You got all that money. Hey, Brock, you ready to earn that money?
Do you think McCole will be back? On a legit serious note, do you think he'll be back at some point this year?
I thought if Nico or Mejio gets hurt, yes.
Because he could be
Instantly.
poached from the practice squad, right?
Yeah. He's signed to the Packers practice squad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. They could totally do that. I thought Nico's spot might be slightly in danger because I thought, well, if you have the option of Nico or McCole Hardman straight up, but I think it's all fine that we are where we're at. All right, we've covered lots of Chiefy stuff, and this is a good sign of a first show. I'm leaving a couple Chiefy things on the cutting room floor.
Huge.
Let's take a timeout. We're going to fully go into everything else. Yeah, this show's been relatively on the rails so far today by our standards. We have a couple topics I want to talk about, and then one really big surprise that I think people are going to be really excited about as long as Tucker put the audio in the StreamYard.
Yeah, it's there. Okay.
We've got a few minutes to get that loaded up.
What is good, everybody? It is your guy, Benny Heiss, KCSN betting analyst, and I want you to take that slow, deep breath. Inhale, breathe out with one word, football. Are you feeling it? Take that sweet, sweet scent of grass and pigskin in. I'm ready. I know you're ready. It's going to be an absolutely awesome season together, and especially for all of you Missouri residents. Well, it's time to get your popcorn and your phones ready because the wait is almost over. It is coming, people. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon. You say show me, I say state. Later this football season, everything that you love about playing on DraftKings Sportsbooks, whether it be the sides, the totals, spreads, props, same-game parlays, you name it, DraftKings Sportsbook is going to elevate your already great game day experience here with KCSN. And by the way, even if you don't get in on kickoff, no sweat, you can still take advantage of live in-game betting, payouts that are faster than Xavier Worthy, just absolutely hustling down the sidelines, getting a bomb from 15. And so all from the comfort of your own home, your phone, wherever you want to be, you'll be betting with the top-rated sportsbook that is safe, secure, and trusted by millions of Americans across the country. So let's talk a little Chiefs. Time to put your money where your mouth is, right, Heiss? Well, what are we going to get out of the Chiefs this year? Where's some value in the futures market? I'm going to give you a play I don't just like, but I love. So my top Chiefs future over at DraftKings is Patrick Mahomes to go over 4,000 passing yards at -125. Here's the thing about Mahomes. He's had one full season where he hasn't hit the 4K mark. That was last year. The year in which everything that could have gone wrong at receiver pretty much happened, and he was still just 72 yards short. On average, over 17 games, Mahomes has thrown for 4,911 yards per season, so you can even go for over 4,500 yards at +300 at DraftKings Sportsbook if you decide to do so. It's 2015. I expect more shots downfield. There's going to be an improvement on that average yards per attempt, down nearly 2 full yards from the last 2 seasons. He's going to have more time to throw. It's a better offensive line. You're going to see some more big plays downfield, more big plays, more yards. Give me the Mahomes over at -125 on over 4,000 yards for the season. So again, here's what you're going to do. You're going to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Be sure to use the code KCSN as you get ready for sports betting to launch right here in Missouri. Plus, you'll be first in line for exclusive promos, can't miss offers, and much, much more. That's code KCSN. KCSN in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 21 plus, physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook, subject to regulatory licensing requirements.
I'm Brett Goodwin, one of the owners of The Learning Tree. The Learning Tree is a neighborhood toy store in Prairie Village, Kansas. This has been here in this location since 2000s, and my husband Alan and I purchased the store in 2023. Alan and I grew up in families where we've always wanted to have a business together. Alan grew up, for instance, his parents had a jewelry store. I worked in a local toy store here in Prairie Village when I was growing up. When this opportunity happened in 2023, we knew right away we wanted to contact them and pursue the store. We wouldn't have been able to get the store without the team at Emprise Bank. From the day we contacted them, they knew what we needed to do, which was very helpful. I would absolutely recommend the team at Emprise Bank to anyone looking to secure a business. We worked with Emprise from day one. They were extremely helpful. They were always great resources. We talk to them frequently. They know the area. They're very friendly. We know who we're going to talk with, and they know what we need to do. We hope we'll see you at the Learning Tree.
Okay, we got a big surprise and some tremendous news in just a second. But first, some important, baffling news.
Wait, I have a lower third for this.
Oh, for news? Oh, breaking news. Yes, breaking news. What's going on? Welcome to Everything Else live at the Majestic. Tucker, I have news for you.
Okay.
This is just shared by our friend Matt Derrick on Twitter. He has tweeted out the news release of this.
Okay.
But he has also clarified something that is shocking. I'm going to read you the beginning of this news release, okay?
Yes.
Kansas City, Missouri. The Kansas City Chiefs today announced a new partnership with Cheez-It, now the official salty snack of the Chiefs in Germany. Cheez-It, a fan favorite in the United States for more than a century. I add parenthetically, Tucker and I, big Cheez-It guys.
Huge Cheez-It guys.
A fan favorite in the United States for more than a century. Officially launched in Germany in August 2025 and is now available in more than 40,000 locations nationwide, including supermarkets, gas stations, and vending machines like the Chiefs. Cheez-It stands for excitement, entertainment, and loyal fans, making the two a natural fit. What Matt Derrick clarified there is that I'm completely fascinated by the fact that Germany didn't have access to Cheez-It until last month.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What? I know this isn't Civ. I'm not looking for full cultural victories at every turn here.
For sure.
I just figured of all the brands that seem like they would have an international footprint by now, I figured Cheez-It had gotten to Germany by now.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Well, do you think there's some places else? Like, you think they're in the UK? If we got any UK people in the chat, let us know if you guys got Cheez-Its over there. But being in Germany last month,
I lost the monitor. Is that something need to happen here?
Yeah,
Hey, we're on there. Thank you, BJ. That's CEO stuff over there. That man,
that's why BJ's here.
BJ Kissel, and you in the comment says he doesn't do anything. I saw him touch that trackpad, and boom, the monitor was back on just like that. Thank you, BJ.
Brisco says, love Cheez-Its, especially the extra toasty.
It's a good take there from my mom. Thanks, Mom.
She also said that your dad wants this shirt in size XL for Christmas.
Fantastic. BJ, more shirts?
I mean, this is like KCSN merch V1.
Yeah, this is an original run. This is an original run for sure.
Happy names. It's happy name. I've lost a little bit of weight. For anybody who doesn't know, not a big deal. But
yeah. Let's get some dumbbells in the chat. Let's get some flex emojis in the chat, please, for Tucker.
I've got to keep digging in the closet.
I get a text. Shirts. Shut up. I get a text from Tucker every morning at 4 a.m. that says, "Hey, I just finished leg day for the 9th consecutive day. Anybody need anything? Go ahead. You can keep talking." Tucker's just been cranking it in the gym.
Yo, whoa. I didn't go to the gym this morning because I'm gonna go after this. It's an upper day. Anyway, upper. I'm gonna do uppers in the gym, Josh.
I apologize.
It's okay
for that one. You know what really gets you cranking it in the gym? I got huge news. People have been asking about a couple of individual folks and a brainchild in relation to this brand new show. Obviously, everything else, the branding, the framing, the show type, there's a bit of a feeling of a spiritual sequel to an old, long dead, long forgotten radio show from the distant history. It's called Almost Entirely Sports. It's where I met this fella right here. I'm going to get all the way into his camera shot. Look at that. Look at this guy right here. Go ahead. Come on. Point back. Awesome. Point back.
How far do I have to go?
I have a 9-foot wingspan, which nobody else knows about. Tucker was one of the very first interns on Almost Entirely Sports, and by God, did he stick around. And so people have asked, rightfully, are we going to hear from Beards McFly and Rudy Salazar? And also, are we going to get sad fans? There is no question I have gotten more since announcing this show. And frankly, there were no questions I got more before announcing this show beyond, are we getting sad fans back? Here's what I'll tell you. Beards and Rudy, real lives, Beards has a baby. Rudy is engaged, living a full, real life with a real job.
Congrats.
There is an open door policy for Beards and Rudy, and I think there will be some carefully chosen kind of reunion times that will be excellent as schedules allow. But I do have one important announcement. Starting off with what we'll call a week 0, post Micah Parsons trade edition, I present to you the one, the only, the often imitated, never replicated Beards McFly's Sad Fans. Hit it!
And now, a list of things said by sad Dallas Cowboys fans after trading Micah Parsons to the Packers.
Oh, I've never been more back.
LMAO, Mavs, and Cowboys. Thanks for that combo, parents. The Packers. Are you kidding me? Oh, please be for a generational haul. No way, dude. Why the would we extend CD and Dak if we're not going to bring back Micah? Jerry and Steven are idiots. 2 late firsts is straight ass. Relax, guys. Maybe those first-round picks will turn into Massey Smith and Taco Charlton down the road. I didn't think it would actually happen. Holy shit. Holy shit. Trade Dak and CD. This year's a wash. I quit. Well, there goes the season. We toast. The defense was already going to be shit. It's going to be super shit now. Out of anyone, the Packers? Yep, that seals the deal. Jerry Jones and his stupid-ass family. I'm done supporting this team. That old doesn't care about us, and neither should any other Cowboys fan. Pretty hilarious that the Cowboys finally invest in the defensive tackle position by trading the best defensive player they've had in 15 years.
Longer, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Seager likely done for the year, and Micah gone. Sandwich of a day for Dallas-Fort Worth sports. This organization is a f***ing embarrassment. Drinks bleach gif. I think this is it, gents. It's hard to justify following this franchise anymore. We better also get an admission that Dez caught it, in addition to the 3 first-rounders and the kitchen sink. I'm sick.
It wasn't 3.
Is it something in the water here? What the actual f*** is wrong with these morons like Jerry and Nico? Thank for Jim Nill and Chris Young. Even if the Rangers are going through tough times, at least they gave me something to be happy about.
Royals legend.
Boycott. Leave a giant pile of merchandise at the Star. Send a message. Brian Schottenheimer got sabotaged in his first year, LOL. Tank Commander Dak Prescott is reportedly all in. Amazing. Jerry is the absolute worst owner in sports. And to send him to a rival? But guess what? You'll all buy the gear. The stadium will be full, and Jerry will be counting his money. Talk about a franchise throwing darts and just hoping they land somewhere good. Good Lord. Nico Harris throwing himself a party now that he ain't the worst GM in sports. Micah Parsons had 1 sack in the playoffs, guys. Remember that. Dude never showed up when it mattered most. Jerry with a f***ing cactus. Jerry has completed his long, slow destruction of the franchise. Bravo, you senile bastard. Bravo. Man, that old Jerry Jones. Let's just put Jerry Jones in a home. This is ridiculous. That man and what he's done to this team. Could have been Herschel 2.0 with a pick haul, but alas, we have a geriatric who loves headlines more than winning running the show. I miss Jimmy. Go Stars, then? We're gonna package those picks and trade up for Archie Manning. We did it, guys. We got 2 late first-round picks. And all it cost us was a generational defensive player in his prime. This is our year. This is the equivalent of selling your car to the guy that f***ed your girl. We won't win a Super Bowl until Jerry Jones dies, and I'm 33 years old. I didn't know I could be so angry, but also dead inside at the same time.
Oh, I did.
Wow. Michael. old senile bastard can't even pronounce his name. I hate him so much. 2 early second-round picks and a once was. This guy. Look up 82-year-old fool and see if there's a picture of Jerry.
I don't think that's how dictionaries
We're
work.
literally praying for an above-average Kenny Clark performance. We are so dead. LMAO. Packers gave us a washed, expensive defensive tackle and pick 29 for the next 2 years. Kenny Clark. Yeah, we got Parsons. Later on. Nobody, we got Parsons. You get to go to Jerry's circus. Can we sue the Packers for elderly abuse? They just scammed an old man with dementia. And now, the winner of things said by sad Cowboys fans. Fell to my knees at Buc-ee's.
It is so good
Beautiful.
to hear what I recently learned was Beethoven underneath those dulcet tones. An important time to remind you, maybe to inform new listeners or to remind longtime Sad Fans enthusiasts, the opinions expressed in Sad Fans are not necessarily reflective of the opinions of Joshua Brisco, Tucker D. Franklin, KC Sports Network, BJ Kissel, or frankly, Beards McFly. Beards is a vessel in these editions of Sad Fans when he goes through the content mines and brings you the deepest, darkest sadnesses of beleaguered fan bases. And this week, it was the Cowboys. That's right. Beards is back in business. We will have Sad Fans throughout the football season. I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited for this show continuing, Tucker. I'm very thankful for the Majestic for hosting us. Again, you can check them out here inside the beautiful, historic Fitzpatrick Saloon building. More than 100 years of Kansas City history, and it feels like it. Come on in. You can enjoy the cigars. You can enjoy the spirits. You can enjoy the spirits. Ooh, maybe. I haven't seen any myself, but it's old enough. And we've heard some stories. I don't know. But BJ, did you see a ghost here? Not yet. BJ says not yet. Okay. We'll keep an eye out for, Tucker?
No, I decided I shouldn't say it.
Okay, good. Very good. Well, you know what? I'm going to reward that instinct from Tucker because I want him to keep that ability as we go. Because whenever something gets caught in Tucker's filter, you know it was probably worth filtering out. For everyone here at the Majestic and MajesticKC.com, this has been the very first episode of Everything Else with Joshua Brisco live on KC Sports Network. Until Friday, bye, Mom.